Alright guys, so welcome back to Gamer Today. Today we'll be talking about Realm Royale. It's a battle royale game that did come out a little bit ago, I know, but it's still early beta. It's on Season 3, I know, I missed a bit of the hype. But guess what? This game is amazing. When I first saw this game come out, back when it did actually come out, I was a little confused because of the disenchanting and all these different powers and all these things. It didn't seem like the game was going to be fair. And honestly, it is kind of a balanced game. It's a little tricky. At first it's going to make you feel like, wow, I'm not good at this game. You just need to find the right weapons, the right items and right perks for you, and as you level up through the game you do get more perks. It's kind of like mixing an MMO or an RPG into a battle royale game. Now I know this is kind of a weird concept, it doesn't sound like it works, but it really does. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's what makes this game so much fun, because when you die you become a chicken, for Christ's sake, and then there's a chicken dance song and all that. It's hilarious. I think it's quite funny. You get the chicken cluck 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 noise. I think it's hilarious, and it really does add some fun to the game. Who would have thought, dying and becoming a chicken could be so fun? But it really is. So that's a huge selling point to this game for me. I know it sounds silly. Try it yourself. It's pretty funny. But enough about the chicken. So how is the gameplay? Is there any building mechanics? No, there are no building mechanics, but there is looting. But looting's so different in this game, you actually disenchant things, which kind of goes back to that MOBA or MMO kind of concept, which means basically to take an item that's already there and basically break it down into another currency. In this case, it's shards. And the shards are great because that's how you get your high-level loot. That's how you get your shields. That's how you get your healing. However, you can find some of these things in the world randomly. Getting it out of Forge is a lot more fun. Now, when you do get an item at Forge, it's usually random if you're getting a weapon or something like that, or if you're getting certain perks, etc. But you can also get your health and your shield there too. Now the problem is with the Forge, and this is what makes it kind of interesting, you have to defend that area until that Forge is done with your item. Then pick that up and get out of there, because everyone's going to the Forge. There's a limited amount of Forges throughout the map. There's not a lot. Not every town's got one, and everyone's going to be going there at one point or another, because everyone's going to need to get better loot. If you don't start leveling up your loot, or start getting better, higher level loot I should say, you won't end up going anywhere. And also you progress, again, like I said, you do have the perk system, so you're always progressing. The higher level you are as a player, you have certain perks that other players may not have. It sounds like it'd be unfair, I know it does, but it's not. It actually works out. There's balancing in between, and there's different things you have to do to get those perks. And did we talk about the classes, guys? There's 4 different classes. You've got the warrior, the archer, the assassin, and I forget the other one, to be honest with you, because I don't play him. But anyways, there's a bunch of different things you can do with these guys, and they all have their different perks and abilities and strengths and weaknesses. The warrior is the most typical class you're going to see, because everyone wants to be the warrior, but there's different classes that might be better for you if you use certain weapon types or play with a different type of strategy. So definitely make sure to check them all out in the beginning and find the one that works for you. The warrior class worked best for me, but I just, that's what I liked. Plus you get different things starting out for perks and etc. So it just works out. Make sure to check out what you guys want before you start the game. Read up a little bit. It only takes a few minutes to get familiar with the character before you jump in. Now the map is pretty darn cool as well. I think the map has a lot of diversity. Some of it does seem a little too green, kind of like when Season 1 of Fortnite was out and Season 2, etc. And there wasn't much diversity to the landscape. It's kind of the same here, but there's a lot more colors, there's a lot more things going on. I know it sounds dumb to say that, but let's be honest, guys. If you play the same game all the time and you see green, 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 you get kind of sick of green, don't you? You get sick of it. Just like if you live in the forest in real life, you're going to get kind of annoyed with trees. If you see trees every day, all day long, you're going to be like, I wish I could see a road. I wish I could see something else. Well, that's kind of what happens in these kind of games. But overall, the map does look nice, and I think it's kind of fun, and the locations are kind of unique. They're not super unique, but they are unique enough where I can tell the difference between one place to the next. The one problem I do have with the map, though, is actually when you're looking to place a marker on the map. It's tricky. I can barely find where everyone else is placing their markers. It's hard to see teammates on the map, and you can't zoom in or zoom out. And that's kind of a problem, and that's my only real frustration with the map itself. But there is one other thing to keep in mind. People with higher level weapons and more shield than you are probably going to do better than you. Also, if they have more perks than you do, they'll probably do better. So killing other players in this game is a huge focus. Even more so than Fortnite, because there's more of a risk and reward system in play. Because if they had some good perks and stuff, you might have a chance to get those. And now you might have something you really need. And again, there's so many different abilities and things that you can pick up. It's crazy. There's so many different things. There's things for different play strategies. And you'll always come across something you probably never used that much before. Or maybe even never seen. There's just so many different things. And it's a lot of fun, honestly. The killing mechanics in this game feel great. The shooting feels good, the weapons all feel different. There's no real sniper rifles or anything like that in this game. However, there are weapons that do feel a bit like a sniper because you can shoot from some very long range with them. As for what you can actually do with emotes and all that, there's not a lot with emotes, guys. If you guys are looking for this game for emotes and all those like customizations, there's some. Obviously, the mount customization is more important in this game than, you know, emoting. Emotes in this game are lame as can be. You can only have one emote at a time, you know, basically on your character, so you can only do that one emote. If it doesn't fit the situation for your humor, it's not going to work. But, you know, it's okay. It's cool that they at least have it. Honestly, I think that's something they can build on, but it's not a huge focus in this game. This game isn't like Fortnite where it's got a lot of different emotes and all that. It's got sprays as well, spray paint, whatever you want to call it, and some of them are animated and some of them are static, which means some of them actually do something and look kind of cool. The other ones actually just don't do anything, and that's something new for the whole Season 3 that they're doing, and it's kind of cool. And one of them is actually really cool, the wanted poster. I like that one a lot. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it for customization. You got avatars and stuff like that, and basic title cards and things like that. Nothing too insane. It's less customizable than Apex Legends, I'll put it that way. The only thing that's more customizable is that you get a mount, and yeah, you can actually ride it. That's pretty cool. But as for like customization like Fortnite, no. Not even nearly the amount of customization you get with Fortnite. But anyways, it's not Fortnite, so it's not a big deal. And the only other thing that's really customizable is when you die, you become a chicken. Well, you could either be a chicken, you could be a dinosaur, you could be an alien. There's tons of things. A cat if you have Twitch Prime. There's so many crazy things out there. You could become even a penguin. I mean, you name it. It's all there, okay? But the thing is, these are things that are just little touches, and I think they're kind of funny. Honestly, the chicken is my favorite part of this entire game. I think it's the hilarious concept. The fact is, when you're a chicken, you can run, and you can actually heal yourself or revive. It'll revive after about 17 or 18 seconds. So as long as you can run away from your opponent, you can actually become something. And that's kind of a cool concept. So let's talk about the gameplay then, since we've mentioned that. Well, gameplay, like I said, is you basically battle each other and try to survive, and there's a storm that comes, and the storm is kind of weird because when the line moves forward, like in Fortnite, it kind of goes at a normal speed, and you can kind of see it. In this game, it jumps, and it just jumps. You can die very easily, especially if you don't know how to use the mount. So check out my other video on the channel before you start playing this game on how, especially if you're a console player, that you can use the mount. Because I'm telling you, it's going to become a huge problem early game otherwise, and you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to understand why. But anyways, guys, yeah, it's just survive and shoot. There's perks and stuff, and it's all about those shields. Get as much shield as you can, get all the perks you can, and basically disenchant anything you don't need so you can get better weapons and better things. Overall, that's what this whole game is about. That's what Battle Royale games are always about. Getting more loot and getting better things than your neighbors. You know, your neighbors, I like that. And we haven't even begun to talk about the supply drops. Are there supply drops? Not exactly. There's actually this little runny guy with a bag on his back, and he's got a bunch of shards in there, and you basically have to shoot him to make him release the shards. I know that sounds silly, but it's actually a lot of fun. It's a bit of a pain, though. He's so quick, but you do get some shards from it, and it gives you a lot of shards very quickly. So if you find him, he's an easy way for the entire team to get a whole bunch of shards and basically to max out your shard inventory, which maxes out at level 200 or 200, you know, shards. But anyways, it's fun to kill him, and it does look hilarious. It's actually better than a supply drop in some ways because it's just more fun, and that's what I like about this game. It doesn't take itself too seriously, guys. It's very humor-based, very fun. Another cool thing is you can actually be revived. Resurrected is what they call it in this game. So if you die, don't leave the game because you can be brought back to life. A little bit like Apex Legends and supposedly what Fortnite might be doing as well. I'm not quite sure that, you know, Fortnite's going that way, but in this game, it's there, and it's actually pretty cool. But here's the funny part about it, though. When you come back to life, you get revived as a chicken first, and then you have to revive from the chicken stage, which means there's another 18 seconds after that of you being a chicken before you actually become back in the game, which is a lot of waiting. I understand that can be frustrating, but it's actually a lot of fun because someone has to defend you while you're basically there, and your teammates will end up giving you, like, heals and different things like that before you actually become back a person, and the chicken just looks so scared. It's hilarious. I love it. So it's pretty cool. Overall, it's a really great concept. I like the idea of it quite a bit. The forge and everything else in between is just so cool. This game really does have a lot to offer new and experienced players. It's such a good game. Honestly, very unique, very different from all the other Battle Royale games out there. I definitely recommend you guys try it for yourself if you like what you've seen in this video. Basically, if you guys are bored of Fortnite and Apex Legends and all these different Battle Royale games that you've seen that are kind of clone copies of each other, and you want something that's a little bit more playful and less serious, this is the perfect game for you. Honestly, it is so great. And the other thing is you don't fight for loot. We didn't talk about that. Other players can actually loot that same chest, and basically they'll get loot from it, basically randomized, of course, and then you could also do the same thing right behind them. I had a realization moment. I was playing with the team. I didn't even notice this was happening. I was like, whoa, Didn't I just see that be open? Is that a glitch? And then I realized, no, that's an actual concept. That's a unique idea that this game put in there. And this is a concept heavily borrowed from the MMORPG genre. When you play these kind of games, you know, MMORPGs, there's always like some sort of system in play to share the loot. This game takes it to a whole new level and actually lets you share the same chest. Obviously, we'll both get totally different loot. The idea of chances of you both getting the same loot, very limited, but the fact of the matter is you don't have to fight over this stuff. So I saw all these chests opened by the same person, you know, who's in front of me, and I'm like, whoa, they're back again? Did they respawn? And then it clicked. I'm like, wow, you don't actually need to fight for this stuff anymore. And that's actually a really cool concept. This one feature might be the most defining and most important feature to this game because it stands out from all the other games out there in the Battle Royale genre. And that's what's so cool about it. To be more casual is actually really more hardcore in a way. Because yeah, it's more casual in the sense that you're not fighting for loot with your team, which means you don't necessarily have to communicate as much about what loot you guys have. There's no bullets as well, guys. We never talked about that. There's no bullets. When I say there's no bullets, I mean you don't have to collect bullets. It's not like Fortnite. Your bullets never run out. All you have to do is make sure you reload. And that's obviously going to make it more casual because you're never really losing out. You're never going to be in a situation where you don't have ammo to defend yourself. But also at the same front, in Fortnite you can build protection. In this game you can't. So while these features make it more casual, they actually enhance the experience and give something totally, you know, different. Honestly, that's what makes this so amazing. And the concept of not having bullets kind of makes the game feel like Quake or Doom or something, a lot more old schooly, more about the shooting, less about the whole survival, and I get that, but at the same time, it's very much a survival game. But I will admit, with all these features in such a large map, it does slow the pacing of the game down, of course. Now, the map's not nearly as big as something like Fortnite or some of the other maps in other games like Apex Legends, but the map is quite sizable. But at least you always have transport. Transport's kind of just a privilege that you get in this game, and that kind of helps, you know, go back and forth with the whole pacing of the game. But matches can easily last about 30 minutes or so do be aware of that. If you last long in this game, it's going to be longer than any Fortnite game you probably played. It's just the pacing of the storm and how things work. It just kind of works that way. Now, it's not so bad. Of course, it is a lot of fun, but that's something to be aware of. If you don't have a lot of time to play this game can be kind of a long match. If you do start doing well in it and you last to the later waves, you might have to wait for people to come to you because it's kind of hard to find each other. One thing also to note, and I will mention this, if you're using the mount, it's very easy to be heard. So, of course, if you hear, like, footsteps, it's probably a mount because people are always using mounts outside. You know, in buildings they can't. But by that point, you've already heard them coming, you know they're there. Get ready, fight, and shoot them, and get them out of your way, and probably get some cool loot out of it at the same time. You will find these guys that are super OP in this game, though. I came across a guy who was very OP, totaled me in a couple seconds. Of course, I didn't have any shield, but I was, like, totally overwhelmed by the fact that this guy destroyed me in just a matter of seconds. I was like, wow, I need to get better at this. But I'd only played a few games at that point, and I'm like, wow, there's some really good loot in this game. So it's kind of fun, guys. Don't give up if you do start playing this. If you don't like it right away, don't give up. There's something there for everybody, and I think it's a lot of fun, really it is. And it sucks when you die, but again, just get better. Over time, when you play these games, you do get better. Don't give up on it, you know, that's what it comes down to. Overall, Realm Royale is an amazing game. I definitely recommend you guys try it. It's from the same people who made Paladins. If you didn't like Paladins, give this a try. I still think it's a great game. They really know what they're doing with these games. I think it's amazing. Yes, this game is still a bit buggy. Yes, there's some glitches. Yes, there's some things that just aren't right yet. But the game itself, at its core, is a lot of fun, and the concept's great. I mean, honestly, for a free-to-play game, what can you argue about? This is an amazing game. But anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want to see more Realm Royale content. There's tons of stuff to talk about with this game, and tons of fun to be had. So if you guys want to see more of it, let me know in the comment section down below so I can start making that for you guys.